The Central has been a struggle for our Sox this season, but yesterday they managed a 7-4 win against Justin Verlander and the division-leading Tigers. And tonight, they'll look to stop another team in their own backyard that are coming to Chicago with a 3-game win streak in tow. It's game 1 of a 3-game set with the pesky Royals next, right here on Comcast Sportsnet. We are coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Paul Konerko, Adam Dunn, Alex Rios, and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Billy Butler and the Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson. My partner, Steve Stone, still a little bit under the weather. Had a little bit of a fever last night, so he's going to take another night off. And sitting in for him is Mike Huff, former Sox outfielder. And Mike, you know, yesterday we had a chance to be swept in a 4-game series, but some clutch hitting took us away from that.
Very exciting game against Justin Verlander. Some big clutch hitting, all with 2 outs. Starting in the bottom of the first, Captain Paul Konerko, great seeing him back, battled off a hard fastball for the first run of the game, followed by Jeff Keppinger using the whole field, getting the second run of the game, both with 2 outs. 4th inning, right after they score, Ramirez comes through with a big 2 RBI, 2-out clutch single. Some solid base running put him on second, followed by Alex Rios finding the hole. And we got a 4-spot that inning and never looked back.
Well, we took care of Verlander yesterday, and we got another tough guy out there tonight.
Yes, we do. The ace for Kansas City. Big game, James Shields. Faced him a couple times this year. First time here in Chicago, opening day, thanks to Tyler Flowers. The only run of the game James gave up. Got a loss. Adam Dunn in Kansas City did the same. Long ball. Hopefully we can have a little more fun with that. For us, Jose Quintana on the mound. Great year this young man's having. It's a shame. 13 no decisions, leading the league, unfortunately, but a 2-0, 2.36 ERA over his last 4 starts, 27 strikeouts. Hopefully 5-2 becomes 6-2.
All right. Well, after missing 5 straight games, Gordon Beckham is back in that lineup. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. And by Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com.
Welcome back to the ballpark. All right, now let's check out the starting lineup for the Kansas City Royals. It'll be the top third of Gordon, Hosmer, Butler. Middle third of Perez, Kane, Moustakas. Bottom third of, whoa, what a player he's been. Miguel Tejada, David Lowe, and Alcides Escobar. Defensive setup for our guys. It'll be there we go. Viciedo, Diaza, Rios around the horn, Gillespie, Ramirez, Beckham, Gunn, and the battery is Josh Begley and our 24-year-old southpaw, Jose Quintana, who is really pitched well this year. This is his 21st start. Young man just keeps getting better and better. He is our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher. And the men in blue tonight, Brian Gorman, Manny Gonzalez, Tony Randazzo, and Larry Vanover. So we're just about ready to get started with this 3-game set, coming off that 4-game series with the Tigers, where yesterday our guys took care of Justin Verlander in fine fashion with some continuation hitting, which was nice to see. We haven't seen that in a while, Mike.
Doesn't need to be long balls. Hit, 1 out, 2 outs. It was wonderful watching that game yesterday afternoon. A great night tonight.
And the first pitch of the ball game. Alex Gordon's taken for a strike. Gordon comes in hitting at 274, 9 homers and 51 driven in. Royals come in hitting at 256 as a team with a 3.75 ERA. So you know they've been pitching well. Their record 48-51, 3 games under. It seems like they get to 500 and then they'll lose 4 or 5 in a row. They'll get back to 500 and lose 4 or 5 in a row. And the count 2-1. This is the 10th meeting of the year between these two teams. In the first 9, our guys have won 5 of them. But Kansas City, as all Sox fans know, the last 4 years, they've really played us tough. That ball hit high and deep in the center field, but we got a man there. Pass out number 1. And here at the ballpark, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center. Eric Hosmer.
Probably their hottest hitter over the last couple months. Hosmer, a good-looking ball player.
Boy, he's got a chance to really be a monster. Is there his first pitch strike, and George Brett really helped him out. As a matter of fact, he helped him out so much that George resigned yesterday.
I tell you what, he came in at the right time. This club was struggling mightily.
Yeah, George, we all figured it was just going to be a matter of time before George would go back to what he's been doing in the front office, spending time with his family. He's paid his dues. My all-time favorite player.
Well, I tell you what, he played hard, beautiful swing. I will always remember when had that home run taken away at Yankee Stadium when Big Tim McClellan said, "No, a little too much pine tar on the bat." Always seemed pretty mild-mannered, pretty intense player, but oh my gosh.
That's foul back. Yeah, George. He could get the pinky in a hurry.
Yes, he could.
Just like a lot of people think Robin's the same way. Robin can get the pinky in a hurry, too.
Well, sometimes it's those quiet guys you got to be careful of.
That's right. When they snap, you don't want to be around. And the 2-2 pitch. Hosmer. Last year, very disappointing. 232, 14 homers, 60 knocked in. But a lot of times, as you well know, you can learn, if you take it the right way, you can learn more from a bad year than sometimes you can from a good year. He gone. Good breaking ball.
Great breaking ball. And really set him up nicely. Quintana, the 2 pitches prior, good hard fastballs inside. This one starts in and sweeps, hits that outside corner. You can see Hosmer, front hip coming out just a little. No chance. First strikeout of the night for Jose.
And here's the man on this club, Billy Butler. Everything's contagious, and even Billy got caught up in this funk that they have been in offensively. Hitting at just 277, 9 homers, 51 driven in. Butler last year, 313, 29 homers, and drove in 107.
The best part about Butler, he reminded me when he first came up of a Frank Thomas, leading this team in walks, not afraid, great eye, but great power. And when you anchor him in the middle of this young lineup, even though he's still fairly young, he's the veteran out there.
He's starting to get back a little bit in his last 9 games, hitting at 412. But this guy is just, the thing is, since he's coming in this league, I believe he was 19 when he first came in. He's impressed everybody with his knowledge of the strike zone, his approach to hitting. Just like that, especially off left-handers, he will beat them to right field, right center. But he is a tremendous talent. If you don't have any protection, being the man in that lineup, boy, they're going to pitch around you quite a bit.
Oh, and they do. Kansas City's continued to wait for that bat, be it Gordon, Hosmer, Moustakas, that's really been able to develop some power, some consistent power, and unfortunately they just haven't found it. So Billy's been left out there year after year, it seems like, and still continues as he uses the whole field there, still hit around 300.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't wind up hitting 300 this year. This young man here is a good-looking young catcher. Salvador Perez, just 23 years old, hitting at 278, 4 homers, 42 knocked in, and he's got a nice approach at the plate as well.
Oh, and a big kid. Thick, solid, good receiver. But you're right, great approach at the plate.
Josh with a nice pick. Salvador last year hit 301. 11 homers and drove in 39. And he had an injury, came back from it. He's going to be a good one. There's a strike.
Great spot going 1-2. That's what we saw yesterday from Jake. Hopefully Jose follows suit. Those first 3 pitches, oh so critical. Something Don Cooper preaches daily. Let's always get ahead 1-2 because it just puts the pitcher in so much more of a catbird seat. Allows you to use the whole plate, sometimes off the plate.
That's not a play. Well, there's a little bit of a difference of opinion. You got the vast majority of baseball players and pitchers who will tell you the most important pitch in the game is first pitch strike. That's the vast majority.
Exactly.
And then you've got one of the greatest pitchers to ever toe the rubber out there, and Greg Maddux says the biggest pitch in baseball is a 1-1.
Yep.
So, but he's in the minority, but for him it worked. Obviously, he was a great one. He gone, and it'll do it. Couple strikeouts, base hit by Butler after half inning of play. It's Royals nothing, and our guys coming to bat. Robin Ventura. Going to be Diaz, Ramirez, Rios. Down Canerco, Gillespie. Bottom third of KCA AT CHA. Good to see Gordon back in that lineup. And Josh Beckley. Defensive setup for the Royals. In the garden from left, Gordon, Kane, Blow. Around the horn, Mustakas, Escobar, Tejada, Hosmer, the battery of Salvador Perez, and love to watch this guy work. Big game, James Shields. This year's been going something similar to Quintana's. They pitch much better than their numbers indicate.
Oh my gosh. And for James, you look at that 4-7 record, but even more impressive at night, a 2.48 ERA, on the road 2.74. That's why they traded for him. Trying to make a big gun, teach some of these younger pitchers that have some lots of talent how to do it at the major leagues.
He's got one of the best right-handed changeups in the game. And there's a strike to Diaz, hitting at 277, 12 homers and 44 knocked in. Thing I like about Shields, he's like Jake Peavy, he's like Verlander. He goes out there, he wants to go the distance.
Oh, every time. Evil eye if that manager walks out and he still has something in the tank. Even if he doesn't, he wants to be out there.
That's low, and the count 1-2. Missed that game yesterday, Peavy. Peavy was terrific. Got behind in a couple situations when he had a lead. Wasn't going to walk anybody. They knew that, and he threw him the fastball, and they hit a couple of them out of the ballpark. But he was real good. Tejada, 38-year-old veteran. 1 out.
There's Jake, and he really did yesterday, as you talked about, home run late in the game, solo shot, home run late in the game, 8th inning, solo shot, not going to hurt you. We're up 7-2. He did not want to back down. He did not want to walk anybody. 7 strikeouts, as you see, over 110 pitches, but really looked sharp on the mound. And for all those scouts that were in there, I'm sure they saw what they wanted to see.
Well, he threw 118 yesterday, and there's a fake of a bunt and a take of a strike. Alexei at 283, homer 26, knocked in. He's hit Shields pretty well, 12 for 32 with a couple of home runs.
Well, and the big 2-out, 2 RBI single yesterday.
Yeah, that was the big hit of the game for the psyche of that game.
Yes. They had scored 2 in the top of the inning. We had put 1 up, a couple guys in scoring position, and we put guys on base almost every inning, but that 2-run put us up 5-2.
1 hopper right to Mustakas. 2 down. So right now, let's check out our Farmers Insurance picks to click tonight. Jim Angier, director and the crew. What are they going with? Paulie, Steve, and Mike. They're going to go with Diaz. And where am I? Nicole Manning, Jeff Chanel, Amy Sheridan, Dan Milkey, Roman Farias, Justin Tuazon, and Rocco Fusco and I. We're going to go with Beckham. Yeah, I walked in the clubhouse, saw Jake, and I said, "You still here?" He started smiling. He says, "Yeah." He said, "It also won't break my heart if I stay here."
Now, he really has done a lot of things both on and off the field in Chicago.
Yeah, he's become a real favorite here. And they knew he would be.
Yep.
That's the way he is. He's a competitive guy, and he's just the kind of player and pitcher that our White Sox fans love. That's one thing about our Sox fans. All you got to do to please them is play hard.
Oh, well, and I harken back to those early 90s days with Jack McDowell on that mound, ace of the staff, teaching the young kids like Alex Fernandez, Wilson Alvarez, Jason Beret, just as Jake's taking guys like Chris Sale under his wing, Quintana.
That's out of play right side.
But players and pitchers just appreciate everything Jack did.
Well, Jack McDowell is, you might tie him, but you're not going to beat him in being competitive. Peavy, McDowell, guys like that, you just can't be any more competitive. I've seen Jack McDowell go out there with nothing, those bad hips of his as he strikes him out, and still win a ball game. So a 1-2-3 inning for Shields, and after one, no score. .com is Dan Hayes. And Dan, what's the info for today?
Jesse Crane, yesterday he didn't throw that bullpen, and today he said they've set up the plan for him for a few days here. And right now the plan is to rest, which effectively means he will not pitch, throw bullpen, pitch in a game before the July 31st trade deadline. Obviously, Jesse Crane's clearly the guy that the best reliever on the market. He's the guy that a lot of teams are very interested in, and it probably is damaging to his value. But at this point, that shoulder's just not ready to go. So he's going to take a few days off, let it settle down, and they're going to, as he described it, take a conservative approach from here.
Well, there's not a harder worker on our ball club than Jesse Crane. I mean, he works his legs. He keeps his legs in great shape. If I were another ball club, it wouldn't bother me. Now, value, certainly not as high as it was. There's no question about that. But it wouldn't bother me one bit to make a trade for him.
No, and that's something that I've seen a report out there that it's possible there's conditional trade that they could work out.
Right.
Where, hey, if he appears in this amount of games, you can have this prospect versus that. And he said it wouldn't surprise him either. I think he's, I've got the feeling that he is definitely was going to be moved. And I mean, let's be honest, it's a very thin trade market for relief pitchers, so, it still is a possibility.
Well, you hit it right on the head. What usually happens in that situation is you compile two lists. One if he's healthy and appears in so many games, and one if he's not and doesn't appear in that many games. Then you might have the top rated prospect on the list, number one, and then you maybe have a 6th or 7th, 8th, or 9th prospect on list number 2. So that can be done. It's done all the time. But I'll tell you, it's just like anything else. As you mentioned, there's just a shortage of quality bullpen guys, and the name of the game today is bullpen.
Absolutely, and if you take that chance, if you look at what those teams can, if they take the risk on him, it's better than their chance potentially of waiting it out and trying to claim him off waivers, because who says the team that's 14th in the standings doesn't make a claim on him, and then the White Sox have to deal with just that team. Meanwhile, somebody like the Red Sox or the Orioles, a team that really wants a relief pitcher, doesn't have a chance to get him, and it really restricts your chances.
Well, 30, 40 years ago, they just had the World Series. There was no postseason except for the World Series. So you were only going to go in the World Series fare as well as your starters, because these guys will go ahead and finish games off. Today, you can get to the postseason, but you're only going to go in the postseason as far as your bullpen's going to take you.
Seen that with San Francisco last year, moving Tim Lincecum to the bullpen. He just dominated. And their starting rotation going into the postseason was definitely not very strong, and they ran all the way through to the World Series based on how good their bullpen was.
Yeah. Mike Moustakas having a very, very tough year for him, hitting at .223, 7 homers, 19 RBIs. He's much, much better hitter than that, but he just can't find the right approach. I think maybe, you know, we talk about guys working on their swings, working on their swings, working on their swings. You better work on what's between the ears, the 6 inches between the ears, and get that approach going. Well, Dan, thanks a lot for the info, buddy, once again.
All right, thank you.
Dan Hayes from CSNChicago.com. Jesse Crane. I'd take him in a heartbeat if I was somebody else.
Oh, my gosh. He has proven year after year, even with a couple minor injuries here and there, he's always been able to bounce back. He has always been reliable.
Yeah, he's resilient.
Oh, my gosh. And he's someone that can be a setup man, and he's proven he can be a closer.
He's resilient. I'll tell you what, a good example was this year, spring training. That's into center field. Diazzi. If you'd have seen him in spring training this year, you'd have said, what is wrong with Jesse? What was, I mean, he was throwing 86, 87. Could not throw a curveball for a strike. Every one of them was, he was just a roller up high. And I asked him about it in spring. He said, oh, I'll be fine. He said, my arm's just not quite there yet. And sure enough, 3 weeks later, he's throwing 95 again.
Well, I'm sure back in the day, you know, people came to spring training to get into shape. Kind of jumping ahead nicely on Tejada. And nowadays, everybody comes in shape. I mean, you're truly battling for a spot for 90% of the guys where, you know, back in the day, everyone had to work a second job.
Well, the culture is entirely different today. I mean, it's 180 degrees from where it was. Even with your top star veterans. All right, take your time, boys. Oh, good throw. Back them up. And that'll retire the side. So Tejada hits into the 1-6-3, and after an inning and a half, still no score.
To look forward to Miller time later in the game. Brought to you by Miller Lite.
But, you know, getting back to the culture of back in the 50s and 60s, you'd probably have 10% of the players would come in spring training in shape. 90% would come in overweight because they had to work other jobs to supplement their incomes, because when I first started, minimum salary was $6,000 a year. And I told you, my first 2 years in the big leagues, I earned more money playing golf, shooting pool, and arm wrestling than I did playing Major League Baseball. But then it started to even some of the star veterans would come in overweight. As here's Adam Dunn. First ball, Hunting pops it up. Get out of here.
It's
Coming back. Coming back. It is. Oh, yeah, it did. Moustakas.
You talked about the tough year Moustakas is having. This is the one time the shift actually helped Adam, because Moustakas, a third baseman, probably used to his shortstop taking this ball. He's playing deep and short, realizing how long he's run. When he glances down to see how close he is, he still has plenty of room, but by the time he looks up, the ball's 5 feet behind him.
Well, I think he lost his concentration on it because of just the reason you mentioned.
After 40-yard sprint, he's thinking, I got to hit a wall sooner or later.
Yeah. But then when the culture started to change, it's evolved into what it is today. If you don't come into spring training in shape, and you're not a star player, you're not going to make the ball club. These guys come in ready to go, and that's the reason spring training for the position players is way too long.
Yeah.
It's 2.5 to 3 weeks too long because they come in shape. But spring training is a fans' spring training. A lot of fans have a home where their team is having spring training. They position their vacations around spring training. So it's not going to be cut because it's become a fan spring training.
Well, and it's so much more fun for the players, too, because you're getting your work in early, but you actually have a chance to talk to the fans. You're talking to the kids. You're seeing the excitement. You're signing autographs. You truly get to interact with everybody.
Got him. There's that Shields changeup.
Well, you mentioned it early, Hawk. Best pitch by James Shields might be his changeup.
It is.
There's one that starts in the zone for the longest time and then just slowly falls out of it. Not a bad swing, good balance by Adam, but just a great pitch by James.
So here's Paulie. He's had a tough time with Shields, 5 for 33, and all 5 have stayed in the park. No, Jesse's going to be fine.
Oh, no doubts. And there will be a couple clubs that'll make some offer.
Yeah, well, a conditional, as Dan Hayes talked about.
Yep.
2 down quickly. That'll bring up Gillespie.
I do remember that. For me, the toughest pitch always was a changeup, because when the guys can throw it well like James does, same arm action, same ball rotation that you pick up right out of his hand, and you start to make your motion, start to swing as a hitter, and then you realize after you've begun to commit, the thing's not even halfway there yet.
That's the worst 5 words you can tell a hitter. You can tell me he's got a great fastball. I don't care. You can tell me he's got a great curveball. I don't care. You tell me he's got a great changeup. Now your wheels start turning.
It's going to be a long night. That's when I start thinking about bunting.
Man,
Where's the third baseman
I didn't take
playing?
you that far. But.
Yeah, you could hit out of the park, though. I couldn't.
Gillespie hitting at 250, 8 homers, 24 knocked in. A buddy of mine, Tom Scher, a couple of years ago went to Boston. He found some footage of me that I had never seen hitting against Bill Lee, a left-hander, with a good changeup. And that's back through the middle. So you can cancel a post-game show. That's our first hit. So I showed me hitting against Bill Lee twice. So when I got home, I looked at it. I literally threw my bat at strike 3, the changeup. And I said, "Thanks a lot, Tommy. You're going to bring me something next time.
Yeah.
Sure, at least let me get a single or something."
Yes,
you know.
Exactly. Don't bring back the bad memories. Bring back the good ones.
Changeups still give me recurring nightmares. Here's Viciedo. Hitting at 248, 9 homers, 31 knocked in. Curveball.
Oh, and Viciedo's also had some pretty good success against Shields, hitting 364, 4 for 11, a couple RBIs. Last 2 games, you can see what he's done also.
The Tank yesterday had every at bat he had was a solid at bat. He had 4 good at bats yesterday. That's high. Low has good speed, but it's going to be a souvenir. There's the Jesse man. Boy, what a hard worker he is.
Oh, my gosh. You talked about these guys now that come to spring training in shape. Steve Odgers was the strength and fitness coordinator when I was here in the 90s. Alan Thomas taking over. And watching the workouts from some of these guys now, I tell you what, some kind of impressive. Dedicated to their craft both on the field and off.
Steve's a good man. Well, we got a good one now, too.
Alan, outstanding.
AT.
Yep. There you see Vicieto's career versus Shields. Right man, right spot. Little gapper here. Put us on the board.
Good eye.
Oh, very good eye.
For all our fans out there who hadn't seen Vicieto that much, when he takes pitches that are just a couple inches off the outside corner, or pitches that are just 3 or 4 inches up on top of the zone, you know he's seeing the ball pretty well. And that's ball 4.
Great at bat by Vicieto. Connor Gillespie up into second base scoring position. As we talked about yesterday, at the pregame show, some great 2-out hitting yesterday. Pick to click coming up. Good seeing Gordon back in the lineup. Frustrating year for Gordon, hitting .325, but a couple injuries has kept him off the field a lot more than Robin or any of us would like to know or see. Only 46 games this year.
And this is game number 100. That ball hit hard. Kane got a good jump back. He's there right in front of Bacardi at the park. That ball was scalded by Beckham. Another hang whoop 'em. And that'll retire the side. We're into the third. No score. That's Tweets with Sox in-game live only at csnchicago.com, brought to you by Comcast Business Class. David Lowe, Alcides Escobar, and Alex Gordon here in the top of the third inning. 0-2-0 for them, 0-1-0 for us.
And another bright prospect for Kansas City.
Yeah, he looks good. Last 10 games he's hitting at .351. He can go get him in the outfield, and he's the reason they let Francoeur go.
Yep. ranks in the top 4 among all American League rookies in a couple categories. Triples, 3, so you know he can run a little bit. Second in batting average, 298. And you talked about his defense. He's thrown out 4 guys.
Well, he's not a baby. He's 27. But he's a young 27.
Good pitch by Quintana. They're up and under the hands. Muscling up a little bit too much there.
1-2 the count.
Good pitch, though. Again, getting his eyes up allows Jose a chance to throw a good curveball or a changeup. Came right back under his hands. Good job by Lowe battling this one off. You can see Josh setting up inside, and unfortunately that ball tailed right back over the middle of the plate. Luckily Lowe was a little bit underneath that one, a little bit late.
Two and two the count.
Well, and that's the spot we wanted to see before. That time Fagley was setting up inside, came in good and hard, just a little bit inside, but much better location.
That ball hit deep in the right field, way back, and it's 1-0 Kansas City. His 4th homer, 20th RBI.
Time now for a Ford home run replay. Looking for the curveball down, slider right over the middle of the plate, and David Lowe did not miss it.
That's just the 66th home run for Kansas City this year. And this also is their 100th game.
Which, coming into spring training, coming into the season, I don't think a lot of people expected that. I think they expected a lot more out of this ball club, both pitching and hitting.
Well, they've been pitching well. 3.75 team ERA. They've got a good bullpen. They strengthened up their starting staff. Attaboy. So that is out number 1.
Sounds a little familiar with that. Good pitching staff, strengthening the bullpen.
Yeah, they just have not scored. They couldn't score. When you can't score.
Well, and year after year, you hear about these young, talented hitters coming up. Alex Gordon being one of them. Billy Butler, like you said, everyone has continued to wait for these guys to take that next step. Hosmer, Francoeur, who they got rid of, Moustakas, and somehow these guys are just kind of in neutral.
They've got a better ball club than their record shows. And they're only 3 games under 500. But this is a very competitive ball club.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that goes back to the manager, Ned Yost. You have a manager that can set the tone, what he expects of his players. They'll follow it 9 times out of 10.
Well, Shields has done a lot for the clubhouse, they tell me. I don't know. I've not been in there. But talking to some Kansas City people, they say that Shields has really done a lot for the clubhouse. Gordon. Ball takes a little bit of a funny hop. Meanwhile, he handles it.
Time now for the whiff, brought to you by Head and Shoulders. First inning, Mr. Hosmer. That's a corner. Showing him that, and then hits the glove. Comes inside to set him up for the whiff.
Good rip at that one. Hosmer, from what I've seen of him now, what, 2.5 years? or 2 years. He's got tremendous power to left center, but breaking ball, can't get it. But with his approach, the way he's going about it right now, it's going to be hard for him to even come anywhere close to reaching his potential until he learns how to pull the ball. And that's the age-old thing in baseball. You get a guy who's got a lot of talent and hits the ball the opposite field, is just got a piece of that one. Then you say, okay, we've got to learn how to pull. Now you get a guy who comes up who can pull. He said, well, now he's got to hit the ball opposite field. But just watching him for 2 years now, he's getting, from us, he's had too many good pitches from the middle end to really drive hard into right field. And he's either fisted himself or popped him up to the left side.
Well, you can tell great advanced scouting of pitchers obviously putting the ball where they need to get him either to roll over, like you said, jam himself. And sometimes you never know if it's the curveball, if it's the fastball, if it's a location. You mentioned it earlier. Sometimes these guys, good swings, good technical swings, but sometimes just the wrong approach. And it's such a minor thing to tweak, but once you get it.
There you go.
Second time.
But the home run by David Lowe. We go to the bottom of the third, trailing 1-0. Using hashtag White Sox Talk, and we'll read one back later in the game. A 1-0 Kansas City lead. Homer by David Lowe, his fourth of the year. So it'll be Fegley, then back to the top of the order with Diaza and Ramirez. Well, Bob Grimm just handed me a nice thing. You know, the civil rights game is going to be here. And it's going to be Saturday, August 24th. And it was just announced yesterday as part of this year's civil rights game activities, the great Bo Jackson and Aretha Franklin will receive Major League Baseball's Beacon Awards. Now, the Beacon Awards luncheon will be held prior to the civil rights game on Saturday, August 24th, when our Sox face the Texas Rangers. So it promises to be a very, very special weekend. So for more information on purchasing tickets, visit whitesox.com. Because there's a first pitch, one hopper. Escobar, one pitch, one out. But for more information on purchasing tickets, visit whitesox.com/civil rights game.
That will be special. Bo and Aretha.
Bo
Game
Jackson.
will probably be exciting, but having a lunch with those two, that
Bo Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Greatest athlete I've ever seen. Bo Jackson,
my gosh.
the fastest right-handed hitter I have ever seen. Down the line. I saw him get his first major league hit against Steve Carlton. Carlton hit him on the fist with a slider. Timmy Hewlett was playing third base. It was a soft one hopper. Timmy took it, looked at it. Too late.
They did the throw. See ya.
Too late.
Yeah, it was fun playing with Bo here.
I think it was
watching those films. Oh, when he was coming up first couple years. Oh my gosh.
That ball is smacked into right field. Coming on as low. He got a good jump, had good speed. 2 down. But I think one of the great sports videos of all time is when Bo made the catch, ran up the wall in Kansas City, and just ran all the way down the other side.
Too much momentum. Okay, do I want to try to slide? How do I brake? Nah, I'm just going to slow down by going up the bank. And he took like 4 strides. I mean, it started in left center and ended up like in left field when he came down.
Too much power and speed.
Yep.
He's something. You don't see him hit a golf ball. Whew.
Still. Artificial hip and all.
That was one of the great lines that ever came out of Robin Ventura's mouth. And he's had some good ones. After Bo had the hip replacement. His first at bat at Smith Stadium down in Sarasota. Got a standing ovation, and Robin looked at his teammates and said, you know why they give him a standing ovation? Because every one of these people here got
artificial hips.
Artificial hips.
Glad to see you can still be active.
Ouch.
I was there when he said it. That was, he had the whole dugout cracking up. It was so much fun.
Robin, one of the great since dry humor.
Oh my gosh. Bob Newhart type.
Dennis Cook, another one with that dry humor that was just send you to your knees. Now the guy sitting next to him, different story. Bernie, Mark Parent. This is not so dry.
No.
It's more physical.
Yeah.
2 out, 1 and 2 the count. There's a shot. Nice. Nice piece of woodwork right there.
And that is a great approach. We talked about earlier. What do you do when you have 2 strikes? You start to widen. You start to use the whole field. Alexei seeing that pitch away. Short stride. Stayed on top of it. Ball got through the infield quickly. Easy base hit. Now, one of the more consistent guys for us all year. Second in RBIs.
Alex struck out his first trip. Little soft line drive right to Hosmer, and that'll retire the side. We're into the 4th. We trail it 1-0.
Locos Tacos from Taco Bell. Live Más.
It's a 1-0 Royal lead here in the top of the 4th inning. It'll be Butler, Perez, and Kane to face Jose Quintana. Butler rocketed a single into right field his first trip. Want to know the count. Very seldom, and he's been this way since he came into the league. Very seldom you see a hitter this strong not get greedy. Breaking ball, 1-1 to count.
Quick hands for a big guy, very quiet feet. We talked about it before. 300 hitter after 953 games, 298.
There's another bullet against the Southpaws. Tries to beat him to right field. That is the proper approach for right-handed hitters against left-handed pitching. So here's Salvador Perez. He struck out. And we'll send out a big White Sox hello and happy 92nd birthday to Blanche Kelly, mother of our bullpen security guard Tom. Happy birthday, Blanche, and many more, honey. There's ball 1.
Perez definitely a candidate to roll into a double play with 8 so far this year. Not too fleet of foot. You can see Butler not too fleet of foot. Adam not even holding him on. I always thought this made sense. If you know the guy is not going to run, you don't play behind him. You play a couple steps off. So now when Adam shuffles, he's covering a lot more ground. So if there's a ground ball to that side, he has a chance to field it and get that lead runner.
Well, there's another side of that page too for me, having played a lot of first base. It's when you get a guy, a speedster, a burner. Ricky Henderson, any of those guys that could, Lou Brox, you hold him on, it doesn't do any good. It doesn't do any good. You're better off playing behind them. I found out a couple of steps, and playing behind them to the extent of their lead and keep them guessing. Now you're going to have a sign with a pitcher to throw over there.
Sure.
And that way you get their wheels turning a little bit. You just don't give them the norm. You do something out of the box. Change up, a good one.
Evens the count to 2-2. I was very fortunate. Got a chance to have Lou Brock when I was in the Dodger organization coming up. He actually came out and worked with a bunch of us minor leaguers. Could have spent a day picking his brain.
Well, Ricky Henderson's greatest base stealer of all time, and when he was younger, he had a big lead. As the years passed, he found out it was better to get a shorter lead, but a little momentum towards second base.
10 steps and a dive.
Absolutely the right approach. All right, you got plenty of time with Perez. 2 down. Rack him up.
Well done here. Not as easy as it looks, people, but Gordon does a great job of making sure that as he goes back and fields this on his glove side, he's almost turning his body, using the ball to take him into the outfield. Perfect throw to Ramirez. Good, strong throw to Adam. Look at that. You just cannot draw that up much better. That's why Gordon is so solid, so valuable to his ball club, and part of the reason his injury early, I think, affected this team more than anything. pitchers, middle infielders, you're trusting that guy who's going to be so solid.
It was
now
huge.
He's gone.
It was huge.
Oof.
When he went down, of course, it was bad while he was in there before he went down, but it got worse after he went down. Well, we talked about it. Gordon's doing something right now that he's done his whole career in baseball, from Little League, high school, certainly in college. He's been the best player on his team everywhere he's ever been, and he's going to be the best, wind up being the best player on this team. Paul Konerko has done a great job in taking him under his wing and talking him through some bad times. Because Paulie, his first few years with us, I thought he was going to kill himself. But he, maturation process, and he finally became Paul Konerko.
Not a bad pitch here. 2-1, high slider, but clearly Josh caught it pretty well.
It was a great pitch to hit out of the ballpark.
Oh my gosh, wasn't that?
That's into left field, right at Tank. So leadoff single, the double play, fly ball to left. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. There's still a 1-0 Kansas City lead. Constellation. Now the first 10,000 fans will receive a White Sox Garden Gnome courtesy of Constellation. So purchase your tickets at whitesox.com or 866-SOX-GAME. Done. Konerko and Gillespie here in the bottom of the fourth. Home run by David Lowe. Difference in this ball game. First of 3. Tomorrow will be Chris Sale against Wade Davis. So make your plans to be with us here. That's the 6:10 start. Chris Sale, our all-star, got the win in that game. And then on Sunday in the finale of this series and this homestand, Hector Santiago against Cy Chin.
Amazing what he has done against us.
I love to watch him pitch.
Years, isn't it?
I love to watch him pitch. Except against us, as there's a he had about a 2.5-year span there. We could not touch him.
I tell you, watching it on TV, it seemed like every time you guys went in there, doing well, hitting well, and just him flipping stuff up there.
Yeah, a little of this, a little of that.
Everybody off balance, everybody in between.
Cy's been around a long time.
Frustration level incredible.
Tried to nip the inside corner.
Adam does have James in his book. We showed at the top of the show. Home run in Kansas City.
Right to Escobar. And it's out number 1. Was it just Kansas City? Just Kansas City. He's 6-4 with a 3.28 ERA against us. Chin is. But James Shields, he's a tough customer out there. They've got, boy, they've got numbers on everything now.
So what
most pitches thrown since 2009 to current. Okay.
Really?
Most pitches thrown in the American League. Verlander, not counting yesterday.
Okay.
Going into yesterday, Verlander's thrown 17,754 pitches. Felix Hernandez has thrown 16,574, as Paulie can't get it. And James Shields, coming into tonight, has thrown 16,131.
That is mind-boggling.
That's my buddy Brian Kenny's stuff right there.
Nice job, Brian. He was so solid for Tampa Bay. Paulie doing a great job of laying off that pitch.
Shields in 2011 completed 11 games. That was most by an American leaguer since Scott Erickson did it in 1998, also 11. Three and one.
Well, you can see the respect Shields has for Paulie. 1-0 game, maybe trying to get too fine here. Has not thrown everything over that middle third of the plate, but really hasn't thrown anything off the inner outer. Everything has been off the plate. Paulie helped him with that one sinking fastball, but really nothing's been over the plate yet.
And there's a little base hit over the head of Tejada. So Paulie aboard with that one-out single, and that'll bring up Gillespie, who singled back through the middle.
Well, and the same approach as Billy Butler. When you're a smart hitter, if you don't get a pitch you know you can drive, you've got to use the whole field. Paul, short stride, keeps his hands inside, head down at the point of contact. Maybe not hitting really hard, but definitely well enough. Going in the outfield, and we got a guy on first.
Well, I got a couple of
That's a line drive in the box score tomorrow. At least for me it would be. I'd be telling everybody, you should have seen how hard I hit that one.
I got a couple of texts. We were talking the other day about smart hitters. And I got a couple of texts. What's the definition, Hawk, of a smart hitter? The definition of a smart hitter is a hitter who goes to the plate and he takes what pitchers give him. That's the definition of a smart hitter. And Paulie has been a smart hitter. Frank Thomas, Manny Ramirez, and Miguel Cabrera. That's going foul, dadgummit. But you take Frank Thomas, Manny Ramirez, Miguel Cabrera. They're not smart hitters. They're genius hitters. All three of those guys took what pitchers were going to give them. Now, did they try to set them up? You better believe it.
Yep.
But it's tough to set up a mediocre pitcher. Or it's tough to set up a guy who didn't have real good control.
Right.
The reason those three guys hit, and Paulie too, the reason they hit good pitching well is because you can set up a good pitcher more so than you can a mediocre pitcher. Because first of all, they're going to be out there longer. And instead of having one or two at-bats on them, you might get 3 or 4.
Yep.
Very seldom 4, but you might get 3.
How you take a pitch, every bit as important as how you swing at them.
Sure it is. You guys teach that to Bull Sox Academy, don't you?
Oh, all the time.
Get them to look that thing all the way into the catcher's mitt. Get in that habit. Because you can get in the bad habit going the other way. Because as soon as you see it's a ball, just take your head off of it You watch it. Just watch it all the way back till that catcher catches it. Watch this.
Great example of that.
That's the way to take a pitch with your head, right there.
Kind of really does. Nice, quiet approach. Hands right around the shoulder, short stride.
Tell you something, he's got a chance to be a heck of a hitter. When you're that short, quick.
Amazingly quick hands. I never saw him when he was with San Francisco, but again, listening to you during spring training and talking to some of the coaches, former teammates of mine, they all had great things to say about him.
Yeah, he's got a chance to be. I did not think he was going to be as good as he's been at third base, but he has certainly been more than adequate at third base. He's got a chance to be a real good hitter. He's got a chance to be a 300 hitter. High chopper. Hosmer can pick it. Can't get him.
Hosmer definitely tried to sell that one. Coming off the base, you're absolutely right. Again, one of Hosmer's strengths is his glove. Connor, good contact, quick to first, and Hosmer quick to short. Little long in getting rid of it. Escobar might have tried to hump up a little bit too much. Connor running through hard. Beats the throw.
And here's Tank. He had a good at bat. And finally drew a walk. Shields with a decent move over there. And of course, the voice you're listening to sitting beside me is that of Mike Huff, former Sox outfielder. A good outfielder. And he's sitting in for my partner Steve Stone, who last night and tonight, under the weather, got a bad boiler and a little bit of a temperature. So, Steve, we know you're watching in, buddy, and let's take as much time and get that bug out of there.
You mentioned
I talked to him last night. He sounded terrible. I mean, he sounded really bad.
Viciedo, a very good take on that last one. And again, a good take on that one. I mean, 1-0, you're looking fastball, you're looking one location, and here's a slider that hits the inside corner. A great job of not swinging at it. So, what was your pitch, Hawk? What would you look at?
I was a high inside. I was a high inside fastball hitter.
Ready to drive it?
It's the only pitch I could hit, unless it was a hanger.
Me, I was looking up and away, just a little base hit to right.
Took his head off that one.
Oh, and there was that changeup. Shields' best pitch. We've talked about it. Good fastball, but great changeup. You can see that ball starting in the zone and just dropping out at the very end. And as a hitter, like you said, Viciedo was on it until about 2/3 of the way there, and the swing had started. Head came off, not a chance.
Another one. 2-2. 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And you want to talk about a beautiful night out here. Temperature is perfect. Scattered clouds. Pretty good crowd. Just need a couple hits here.
Yes. Into left field for the base hit. So Tank on the breaking pitch. Tank's seeing that ball pretty good. We mentioned what he did last night against Verlander. Yep. He's seeing the ball pretty good.
Well, I tell you what, you keep your hands back. Again, a short stride, good location, and hit it hard enough to drive it past Moustakas, and Escobar does a good job. Good dive, good effort. Escobar just off his glove. Top of the broadcast, you saw the success we had yesterday against Verlander with 2 strikes. There you can see the high clouds. I know there's been some rain all over the area. Luckily, nothing really here. Not since I pulled in about 5:30. It's been gorgeous. And Beckham, who hit it really well to center field, coming up again with guy in the scoring position, 2 outs.
There's a breaking ball low. Gordon hit a bullet in the center field, and Lorenzo King got a tremendous jump on it. Made that play look easy.
Oh.
Going back right in front of Bacardi at the park.
And he can definitely cover some ground out there. Outfield playing Gordon a little bit the opposite way.
Slicing that one. Stay fair. Stay fair. Dadgummit.
Inches from almost 2 RBI double, possibly triple. Gordon does a great job. Drives this ball the opposite way. Slicing, and couldn't have been 6 inches. You can see the mark there. Well, now you got to brush it off. It's still 1-1. You still got 2 strikes. You've hit the ball hard a couple times. Cannot put your chin down here.
Yeah, up out there in left center. Moustakas backing off the line at third. And that ball hit deep in the center field. But back right on the front of the track. And that'll retire the side. We threaten, can't score. We'll go to the 5th, trailing 1-0. Party at Bacardi at the Park? Yes. Open after every home game at US Cellular Field at the Gate 5 Plaza, Bacardi at the Park. So grab your friends, give them a visit, and ask for Sil. Vasilios. Process. He'll take care of you. So here is Moustakas. Breaking ball strike.
Moustakas flew lined out in the second to center field.
Somebody get on you about saying flew?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Bacardi in the Park, I was going to say, earlier this year, remember coming out to a game and walking over there afterwards, got a chance to see a Hawks game, third period. Oh, my gosh, that place was so much fun. All those TVs, they had some outside, great service, great food.
That's out of the Gibson's group. But the count right here, 2-1 to Moustakas. A little tardy on that one. Yeah, made a good pitch on him.
Yes, he did.
Moustakas having a rough year. 5 for 70 with runners in scoring position this season. In 2007, he was the Baseball America High School Player of the Year. Again, a guy with tremendous talent, and what appears to be a bad approach.
Yep. Tell you what, Quintana has done a great job all night of keeping these hitters pretty much off balance.
He's getting better and better.
Oh,
better
mixing
and
up
better.
The fastball, the slider, hard and soft.
Cooper's done a wonderful job with Quintana.
Oh, all of them. I mean, how many pitchers have we brought over from other organizations that Don Cooper has turned into just quality starters?
Dada pops it up. It's going to stay in here for Adam. Well, again, it's hard to say anybody is the best, but you can tie Coop, but you're not going to beat him.
No.
Talking about, there's his family. His mom in the burnt orange shirt there. Look at his brother, looks just like him. Brother Jose, Abel and Maribel Quintana, his parents. It's just the second time his mom has seen him in the major leagues here from Colombia. Last time he pitched, they came up and introduced themselves. Really nice people. And he's a terrific young man. I mean, just a terrific young man. Until he puts that jockstrap on and goes out on that bump, then he becomes a good competitor. He's one of those guys that's an observer. He observes everything. He doesn't talk much.
Nope.
I watch him a lot in the clubhouse. That's the reason I like to go in there, especially after a game.
Oh, sure. Yep.
So you can see how guys react, where they got hit hard or whether they pitched a real good ball game. There's a little just over the head. Lowe didn't even know where it went. Had no idea where that ball was.
I tell you what, when it's going good, it's going good. And for this rookie, first at bat, home run. Next at bat, 0-2. Almost bailing. Has no idea where it is. Totally jammed. And you can see the brother, the fiance on the left next to Mama. The brother a little bit hot there.
He's saying, that's a duck snort. So here's Escobar. He fouled out. Rios made a good catch on him.
Good running fastball in on Escobar's hands there.
Now, he's just worn us out. This guy looks like an all-star shortstop against us, both with the leather and the lumber.
Well, and not too bad on the bases either. This year, 12 for 12 in stolen bases.
They got two guys who are 12 for 12. He and Elliott Johnson are tied for the American League lead for most stolen bases without being caught with 12. Blocked nicely by Josh. Escobar this year not hitting as much as he has. He's 8 for 37. But against us in his career, he's a .325 hitter.
Yep.
He's just worn us out.
Josh doing a nice job back there, keeping that ball in front of him, looking in at Mark.
Boy, that was a good job that Tyler did last night. And that'll retire the side. We're halfway home. We trail it 1-0. Always nice to hear from our Chuck live.
Not recorded, not Memorex.
Oh, you know,
and our Chuck can throw some leather out there. He was at the fantasy camp a couple years ago. He's throwing some leather out there. Josh taking that first pitch nicely. Good to see Coach Quinville getting an extension. What has he done with them Hawks these last few years? Pretty exciting stuff.
Coach Q, he's fun to talk to.
Second best mustache in Chicago history.
He's fun to talk to. He's a fun guy until he sees something on the ice he doesn't like.
Yeah, I was going to say, he looks like he can.
Softly hit, Moustakis. Josh now is grounded to short and grounded to third. Sox fans, on Saturday, August 10th, first 20,000 fans will receive a Ron Kittle, big man from Gary, bobblehead presented by Aldi. So purchase your tickets now by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME. That's Saturday, August 10th.
Now, Ron is a fun man to be around. Forget it. I mean, talking baseball, talking anything. Because he will talk.
Ron has always been one of my favorites. When he was a rookie, he had 35 home runs and drove in 100 runs in 1983 as a rookie. Won Rookie of the Year. And then next year we went to spring training. We're all staying out of Siesta Key. There's a base hit. No. Tejado's can't get him, though. That'll be a base hit. But Kitty's one of those guys, we're all staying in the same place, right on the beach. Every day after workouts, come back to the condos there. And there are probably, I don't know, 12, 15 kids, including Krista and Casey. He's in that pool with them for an hour and a half, 2 hours every night playing.
No doubt.
They loved him. I mean, they loved him. He was like the Pied Piper.
Well, I've had the fortune of doing a handful of charity events with him, and Pied Piper is a great way to describe it. He just has an energy about him.
Yeah.
He'll make people feel comfortable. Can talk about a myriad of different topics, and he'll get you laughing, stories, and his smile and laugh are infectious.
Here's Alexei. He's 1 for 2. Nice pick right there by Perez. Yeah, Kitty and his charitable work, and he's got a motorcycle ride this year, but instead of a golf tournament, he's raised over $2 million to help find a cure for cancer. Long set. There he goes. Well, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I tell you what, he just got no jump right there. Perez was going to gun him out. Watch out. Just no jump.
No jump. And looking back in, might have been a hit and run the way he was looking back in, or again, hoping that Alexei fouls it off, which he did. Good percentage there, 12 for 16. Anytime you can get over 70%, you want to be in that 80 to 90. But most base runners, and for the White Sox, it's really just 3 guys. Ramirez with 21, Rios with 21, Diaza with 12. And after that, drop all the way down to 2. So nice having that speed at the top of the lineup, but if you can get 75% or more, you're doing pretty good.
1-1 to count. Close. I'm talking about Ron Kittle, certainly one of the strongest guys ever put a pair of spikes on. Kitty, strong man.
Well, we talked a little bit about that team in '83 yesterday, but he wasn't the only one. You had a handful of guys on that team that could leave the yard, and not just hit home runs, like leave the yard.
Got him. Another pickoff. Man.
Well, we showed it earlier. James Shield doesn't take a big stride to first. Close, pretty close to a balk, but quick on his feet. Perfect throw to first. Ends up getting Diaza.
What? Now, we talked earlier, he's got one of the best right-handed moves in the game. And when you get, that's foul.
Great catch by that fan. No, you're absolutely right. We talked about Ricky Henderson, how he learned later in his career, you can shorten up a half a stride, you can shorten a full stride. If you got your 10 steps in a dive, for some people it's 9 steps in a dive, you get that down, you can get to second and steal a base.
That's low.
It's not all about the leadoff. It's not all about getting an extra foot, 2 or 3 feet at first base. It's how quick you are with the jump, how strong you are with your strides 2 second, and how hard you're diving into second base or sliding feet first.
2-2 pitch. That's in the hole for a base hit. And Mike Cleary's got, for you out there who did not see Ronald Kittle play, look at this. This is 1990. This is the last rooftop shot. That is a long way, my friends. And he can one-hand them out there. The thing that didn't amaze me about Kittle. The thing that amazed me about Kittle was that he absolutely owned Burt Blyleven.
Really?
Blyleven could not get him out. The harder he'd throw it, the further kid he'd hit it. Then he'd throw that snapdragon curveball of his, and then he'd hit it over the center field wall. And if knowing them both, if you'd have said, hey, I never saw Kittle hit against Blyleven, I don't think he did much, did he? I'd agreed. I said, no.
Not many people did much against Blyleven.
60 shutouts.
Great curveball.
Come on, Alex. Alex is 0 for 2.
Two good takes there by Alex. Struck out in his first at-bat, and the soft liner to end the third inning in the second at-bat, but those 2 takes, as you talked about, sometimes third time through, fourth time through a lineup for the better hitters against better pitchers, you can start to square somebody up, you can start to set them up, you can start to see that release point.
I tell you, our crew down in the truck, they're just
incredible.
Every time we say something, look at this.
Oh.
We talk about it, and there it is. He had 9 home runs off Blyleven. Look at Burt.
Realizing, dang. Oh, and that was a good one. First one was a hanger. That was good. Alex just missed that one, too. Fly ball to right, and that will end the 5th.
We trail it 1-0. The season and receive savings off the individual game ticket price. You can enhance your outing by upgrading to our new Miller Lite bullpen party porch, pregame patio party, diamond suite, or one of our other great party areas. So 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. Sixth inning. They have 1 run on 5 hits. We have no runs on 6 hits. Top of the order for them: Alex Gordon, Eric Hosmer, and Billy Butler. First ball, Honey. One pitch, 1 out.
Always nice to see. Jose was 73 pitches to this point through 5 innings. But 1 pitch, 1 out. I think any pitcher's good friend, best friend.
1 pitch and 1 out. And here's Hosmer. He's had a tough time.
0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. See if we can make it the hat trick right here.
And if you're just tuning in, did not hear, George Brett is not with the club. He resigned as hitting coach yesterday. And that's foul. Pedro Grifo, new hitting coach. And that's in the dirt.
And that's got to be incredibly tough. Did you ever have that, Hawk, where they changed hitting coaches during the course of a season?
No.
Me neither. I'm pretty fortunate with that. Had some good ones.
And that's foul.
Good pitch right there. We talked about how Eric has been doing this year, but since June 6th, you can see a .318 average, 10 home runs, 28 RBIs, 10 doubles, 30 runs scored.
Well, that's after George became the hitting coach. Got him again. Breaking ball. He gone.
Now that is not making an adjustment, because Jose, the first at bat, had a breaking ball in the zone. The last two, that one bouncing on the plate. My Zip teammates in that softball league, umpires calling that a ball hitting the plate, but Hosmer still swinging and still missing. Hat trick, and he's going to have one more at bat probably before the night's over. Billy Butler, who does have 2 hits and has used the whole field, takes one a little bit high. That looked awfully good.
2 rockets into right field for Butler. Singles. Taking what they're giving him. Well, Bagley right out there again. And that one, it's a strike.
Well, and taking, as you just said. First at bat, 1 pitch and out. Next batter, about 4 or 5 pitches and out. You got to give James Shields a chance to breathe, and Butler taking the first couple. Jose just missing off the plate with that one.
Gap out there in left center.
Well, infield pretty straight up, and like you said, the outfield shading the right field side. Butler has proven why with 2 base hits to right.
Count evens at 2.
Well, and that was another one. Up and out. Butler with 2 hits to right. Here's a pitch that, again, all you need to do is just throw the barrel on it, and that's a base hit to right on the outer half. Looked like he might have been driving that, thinking about driving that a little bit more in that left center gap, and couldn't catch up to it. And that curveball, not even close. Good idea. Away, 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 and then a good hard slider, good hard curveball inside. If it's in the zone, falling out, has a chance. But that one never really in the zone, so pretty easy take for Butler.
2 out and a payoff pitch. He gone. Couple of strikeouts. Now has 5, but we trail it 1-0.
Alex Gordon and the rival Royals on Comcast Sportsnet. Hector Santiago gets the start against Kansas City's Bruce Seichet. White Sox Royals Sunday at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
It's the bottom of the 6th inning in a 1-0 Kansas City lead. A home run by David Lowe leading off the 3rd inning, his 4th of the year, to the bullpen in right field. So it'll be Dunn, Konerko, and Gillespie to face James Shields. Adam has struck out and grounded to short. Of course, that was on the right side. He was on the right side of second base, the first base side. Curveball tries to backdoor him and he missed.
Can you ever remember, Hawk, shifts like this when you were playing?
Yeah.
Who were the guys that they would do it with or against?
There were about half the clubs used to, Baltimore, and those used to put one on me. Yeah. Davey Johnson, who was a second baseman, playing on the left side of second over there. That was off a right-handed pitcher. That is in the mezzanine section. But just checking out this Pedro Grifol, the new hitting coach. He's got a resume. I've never heard of him, but he's got a pretty good resume here as that pitch is down low. So 3-1.
Good take by Adam there. That was a tempting pitch.
He was the Florida High School Player of the Year in 1988. He went to Florida State, All-American. And you know he knows something about baseball because Mike Martin is there's a base hit. That a boy, Adam. Good way to start us here in the 6th.
And against the shift. That's tough to do when you got 5 guys on that side of the field to find a hole. But one of the first times, in fact, the first time that we've led off an inning putting the guy on base. So let's see if we can make some lightning happen.
Here's Paulie. Paulie's 1 for 2. Went out to low in right field in the 2nd inning. Then he singled in the 4th. Big gap out there in left center. Short lead by Dunn. Ball 1 to Paulie. Get him to 3rd and let Connor knock him in. Good take right there.
Oh, really good take right there.
2-0.
Paulie being a smart hitter. Right in and then right out of his zone. Kane does a good job Perez trying to frame that one. The home plate umpire Brian Gorman. Didn't happen.
Pops him up. Paulie upset with himself. Lorenzo. That's out number 1.
Well, upset with himself, and rightly so. Got the 2-0 pitch he was looking for. Good hard fastball. A little bit down in the zone, and so as a hitter, especially someone like Paul, even if it's down in the zone, you want to try to get it in the air. Unfortunately, too far underneath it. You can see the disgust, the flip of the bat. Now to Connor Gillespie. 1 for 2, single in the 2nd inning. First hit of the game for the White Sox.
Outfield slightly to the left. Piciedo on deck. Curveball, no. And checking a few other scores for you. Tigers beat the Phillies 2-1 at Comerica Park. Pfister over Hamels. Hamels pitched another good game, but sucked up another loss. Cleveland leading Texas 8-6, top of the 8th at Progressive Field. That ball is going to hang up for Kane. Boy, he got a good jump. He is really, that's the second time tonight he has gotten an excellent jump on a hard hit ball.
Fastball, Gillespie gets all of it. A shot, and for Kane, a good jump. Ball kept carrying, had to reach up a little bit. I think he was surprised how hard that ball was hit and how much backspin that carry that ball had. But he can definitely cover some ground. In
He's
Kansas
quick.
City and here, you got to have that in center field.
Besides being fast, he's quick. And there is a difference. So here is Viciedo, a walk and a single. Took that pitch nicely. By the scores, Mets just thumped the Senators. The old Nasty Nats took it on the chin, 11-0.
Oof.
Washington now 5 games under, 49-54. The injuries have just eaten that ball club. That's a great looking ball club.
Yeah,
when they're
you
healthy.
guys went through there early. They looked really impressive.
Good eye right there. 2-0.
Just a little bit up, a little bit off the plate. As you talked about, you know Viciedo's swinging them back good when he's taking those close pitches. Strong young man. There's a strong big man in Adam Dunn. Not swinging the bat though. Viciedo can lose one, get us a lead.
Well, you know Viciedo's seeing the ball well when he's 2-0, 3-1. Usually he's 0-1, 0-2, 1-2. This year he has been. It's fouled back, and that's going to be a souvenir.
Well, I'll tell you what, the best I saw him swinging this year was when he came back from an injury early, because you could tell he wasn't swinging that 110% angry swing. He kind of stayed within himself, and man, the ball seemed to jump off his bat.
He's got the livest bat. 2 livest bats in the American League. There's his and Cespedes. Shields beat him with a fastball right there.
Yep. Cespedes was fun to watch in that home run derby in the All-Star game, wasn't that?
Yeah. Yeah, that was launch time.
Tighten those baseballs a little bit. Let's see them fly.
Fouls that one by. Fans love it. Why not?
Yep.
Tampa Bay just hurting the Yankees 10-1, bottom of the 8th in the Bronx. There he goes. And there's a base hit. Escobar has good range, so that's just going to show you the top spin that Tank can put on that ball.
Dayan 3-2 again. Shields not going to give in. Ball over the middle of the plate. Down in the zone. Viciedo hard on the ground. Gets that through the infield quickly. Adam Dunn running on the play easily gets to third. And now we got something going with 2 outs. Talked about those 2-out hits yesterday. Well, there's one. Now let's see Gordon, who has hit the ball hard twice. 390, 395 feet, and he's 0 for 2. Man is due to hit a little gork. Duck snort somewhere, get a base hit after hitting the ball that far, and they have nothing to show for it.
Come on, Gordon. He has barreled it up twice, as Mike said. Curveball, big hack.
Oof.
In that Yankee game, Soriano 0 for 3 in that game. Just a short lead by Tank. Ball gets away. No advancement by Adam, but Tank will take second. Now.
Now is the time for that little base hit.
That'll be the 8th wild pitch for Shields this year. Now they're going to check on.
Shields with that first curveball, getting Gordon swinging. Second one, snapped it a little bit further. Perez getting it right off the chin and the shoulder. Unfortunately, not able to keep it in front of him. Focused mostly on Adam Dunn. Didn't even worry about Viciedo. And it looks like we might have lost a little bit of skin there, but it's a catcher. They're used to that.
He's one of the best looking young catchers in the game. He really moves around well behind that plate. And before he's done, he's going to hit a lot.
Well, yeah, you talk. I think I mentioned earlier the size. I remember first time seeing him on TV, how quick he was behind the dish, blocking balls, not realizing until he stood up against one of our bigger hitters that this is a big boy behind the dish.
And he will pick your behind off at first base, too, or at third. Big pitch coming up, the 1-1.
Right guy at the plate for us, leading the team in hitting the ball hard tonight. Gordon is definitely due.
Another block by Perez. So the advantage goes to Beckham.
Well, this will be an interesting pitch because Shields is probably thinking the same thing we're talking about here. This guy is hit it hard, really hard a couple times. It's a 1-0 game. I almost have to be too perfect. And now that I have first base open, we'll see how much he goes after him right here.
Gordon thought that one was high. Meanwhile, a count 2-2.
Gordon definitely not looking for it, as you see on the pitch track right here. Just barely hitting that inside corner, but going around the plate, and that's kind of why Gordon threw that head back a little.
Full count.
Oh, and that's a good take. Lots of curveballs, and as a hitter, now you see a fastball. You want to come out of your shoes, especially the way Gordon's been hitting it, and to see one out of the zone and take it just goes to show he's got his swing, his groove on right now.
And that's ball 4. That'll load him up for Fegley. Second walk issued by Shields. If you're just tuning in, they lead at 1-0. They have stranded 2 guys tonight. We have stranded, coming into this inning, 6. So we've had some opportunities, and Gordon has hit it hard. But Kane has just been too quick out there in center field. So we'll see what Josh can do. He's grounded to short, and he is grounded to third. And that's going to get him again. So that is 9 guys that we have stranded, and we trail at 1-0.
double dose of double plays. In the second inning, Jose Quintana, a perfect feed right over the bag to Ramirez. And in the fourth, Gordon Beckham playing a big hop beautifully, spinning another perfect feed to Ramirez. 2 double plays. Thank you, Xfinity. That is our high-speed action replay. Jose Quintana just pitching a gem tonight.
He's been doing that on a regular basis. He's only had a couple of tough outings. He's just getting better and better and better. And stronger and stronger and stronger.
Oh, and smarter. Again, you can just tell, absorbing everything. Don Cooper, Jake Peavy. I mean, you talked about his demeanor in the clubhouse. Great teammate, but willing, ready, able to learn, to learn, to learn. Reminds me of one of my teammates, Ramon Martinez. When he came up with the Dodgers, quiet, hung by Oral Hershiser, Fernando Valenzuela, every day he could.
Here's Salvador Perez, strikeout and hit into that 4-6-3 double play that Mike Leary just showed you. Outfield straight up, spread out, about equidistant. Takes first pitch strike. Well, in that Cleveland-Texas game, Indians were leading Texas 7-1. They're in the bottom of the 8th, now tied at 8. Out in front of that change.
Quintana doing a good job, ahead 0-2. Again, a lot of youngsters out there can learn a lot from this White Sox pitching staff. Don't have to overthrow a ball. You don't have to throw 90 plus. Now we got friends all over the place watching, but hard and soft, up and down, in and out. Get a lot of people out.
You got to throw strikes and change speeds.
Yep. It's as simple as that. Jose Quintana again been the hard luck pitcher. 13 no decisions this year.
Well, this year he is limiting right-hand hitters to a .229 average. That's the 3rd lowest mark among American League left-handed starters. Yeah. Santiago and Chris Sale are right behind him. That's a fair ball. So, leadoff double.
A game of inches. We've had 2 or 3 down that right field corner, inches away, and this time not really that bad of a pitch, but Perez getting his hands inside where it clips the outer half of the grass of the chalk line.
Beckham missed.
Couldn't have been 6 inches. 2 RBI, 2 guys on.
About 5 inches.
Yep.
So here's Kane. He's got a job to do. He's 1 for 2. And he's going to get the job done. No, he started to. He thought about it. That's something you've got to make up your mind before the pitch is made. If you're on the right side of that infield.
With Perez here, a slight hesitation, but he put his head down, knew that ball was hit hard, and went head first, not worried. Connor might have been deking him. And for Gordon, like you said, on a hard ball like that, if it's one maybe hit to his right, if he's able to come in on it, he might be coming up going hard, but kind of right at him, a little bit to his left, wanting to make sure of the sure out.
And a reminder, Sox fans, join us for our country music night and post-game fireworks presented by Pepsi on Friday, August 9th at 7:10 when our Sox take on the Minnesota Twinkies. Purchase tickets today by visiting whitesox.com/country or call 866-SOX-GAME. Now the infield has to come in. Mussina is going out to center, and he's popped up to right. Breaking ball. Pretty good pitch, didn't get it.
Oh, that was a really good pitch. Great job by Moustakas laying off that one. Now, what are you looking for in this situation as a hitter, Hawk?
This is the blue play special. I'm going to look against Quintana. If I'm a right-handed hitter, I'm going to back off the plate a little bit, look for a ball out over the plate, hit it right hard if I can in the right field. Now, is that going to happen all the time? No. But at least I had a plan. I had an approach. And a bad approach is better than no approach at all. Bad idea is better than no idea at all. It just mystifies me how in certain situations guys do not move around that box. They're going to stand in the same place in that box against a right-hander or a left-hander, a hard thrower or a soft tosser. As it's not the guy you really wanted to walk. He's been struggling. That's the first base on balls issued by Jose, and that'll bring up 38-year-old veteran Miguel Tejada. Was hit into a 1-6-3 double play, and he's fouled out first base. But I just, over all these years of watching this game, playing the game, watching it, just mystifies me. You can go anywhere you want to in that box. You can create your own strike zone. You can take away a pitch from the pitcher. It's amazing.
Time now for our AT&T Uverse Multiview. As you see, one of the first times Jose Quintana's had multiple Royals to worry about. Tejada, Moustakas, and Perez.
There's first pitch strike. But the one pitch you want to take away from Quintana in there is that cutter. If being a right-hand hitter, that cutter, and the only way you can take it away from him is by backing off the plate.
For me, Jim Abbott had to get. Him and Randy Johnson just would come in with that cutter.
Well, that's certainly going to get the job done. And it's a 2-0 ball game. So the veteran, he's been doing that. He drove 150 runs one year with Baltimore. So he knows how to do that. And if you notice, he did not turn the head of the bat over.
Nope. What again took your approach? Where do I have a better chance? Looking for something outer half, trying to drive it right center. Got to make sure at one run you've got a pitcher who is throwing a gem out there.
And here is David Lowe, hit a home run leading off the third inning, and then in the fifth had a no-see-em base hit to left field, right over the outstretched glove of Gillespie.
Impossible to teach. Up and in, step to right, and dork it right over the third baseman's head. And in a big hole now, 0-2. White Sox have Matt Lindstrom warming up.
That's one reason Konerko has always been a good RBI guy in tough situations in a ball game. Very seldom will he ever let that bat get behind him. He kept the bat in front of him.
Great hands. Great balance in the batter's box. There's Paulie.
Well, he's one of the best fastball hitters in the last 25 years.
Oh, my gosh. Yep.
The 0-2.
Similar to the base hit, climbing the ladder this time.
Well, this guy looks like he might be able to handle something upstairs hard. You see a lot more left-handed hitters in today's game than in the past years that are better high fastball hitters. Angels used to have, when they had Erstad, they had guys out there in Peru as a hitting coach. They had about 4 left-handed hitters that were good high fastball hitters.
Jimmy Edmonds.
Jimmy Edmonds, one of the most underrated players to ever play this game.
How many highlight films? Remember him?
One of the greatest center fielders to ever put a pair of spikes on.
And he played a shallow center fielder. I love that. Lance Johnson the same way. Take the little ones away. Guy hits it hard. Trust your speed to go get it.
Jim Edmonds was a great player. Hit a lot of big home runs in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. And again, you might tie him out there in center field, but you weren't going to beat it.
Yep. You talk about those lefties. Garrett Anderson, smooth swing. You could tell Rod liked
good high
working with
fastball
him.
hitter.
Yep. Tim Salmon, a righty, but strong, quick bat as well.
Edmonds won 8 Gold Gloves.
Quintana doing a good job. Fagley still showing a high strike, throwing the ball up there, and Lowe doing a good job of battling it off. Quintana, you can see over 100 pitches now. Probably the main reason we have Lidstrom up.
I really miss watching Edmonds play. It was fun to watch.
Seemed like he always had a smile on his face, but probably because he kept making those great catches.
They go wide stance, no stride.
Oh, yeah. Check that. Molitor-esque. Molitor-esque in that no stride. Talk about a man with quick hands. Remember Molly?
Edmonds, 393 home runs. That'll do it, but they pick up a run. 7th inning stretch, we trail it 2-0. A tough pitcher, a very tough pitcher, who has pitched in tough luck this year, coming in with a 4-7 mark, but a 3.24 ERA. That'll tell you how tough his luck has been. So it's the top of the order. First pitch to Diaza is taken for a strike. Alejandro is 1 for 3. Had a single back in the 5th inning, and then
got picked off
again.
This will be the 100th pitch for James Shield.
That's a walk in the park for him. James Shields likes to finish what he started.
Well, adding to those numbers, 2.74 ERA on the road and a 2.48 ERA at night. So you want to talk about a hard luck pitcher.
Yeah.
It's tough to be below 500 with those numbers.
He had a good pitch to hit out of here right there. Pops it up.
Oh.
One out. And Bill Karen. Remember that face. Retired NHLer. Now with Pittsburgh Penguins. 429 goals. 427 assists. I tell you, those hockey players.
Different breed.
I love them.
Oh.
I think they're the best athletes going. I know when I used to play in those celebrity tournaments, golf tournaments, I always wanted to play practice rounds, and I did with hockey players.
They can hit the ball a long way.
They're good players.
They are,
and they're
very good
great
players.
guys.
Yes.
I mean, just they're different. They're great guys. In fact, when I played with the Red Sox, I hung out with Bruins more than I did with my teammates.
Well, playing on the White Sox here in the early 90s, we had some obviously great teams for those Blackhawks. The one guy that would come out that I became good friends with was Jeremy Roenick.
I love JR. He's just a good guy.
Run around the outfield here.
Lays off that one. So the count 2-1.
Alexei, 2 hits tonight. Ground ball to third. He has been hot lately. Well hit, unfortunately, right to Tejada.
2 down. And fans, you've known for years that StubHub is a great place to find the seats you want to see our Sox play live. So now they've added StubHub fan rewards so you can earn a little extra with your tickets, like seat upgrades. So head to StubHub and get your White Sox tickets today. Here's Rios, Alex. 0 for 3 tonight. Off the end of the bat on the breaking ball. Escobar, good hands. 2 down. Check that. 3 down. We have completed 7, and we trail it by 2. And we have a new pitcher. Another outstanding effort by Quintana.
Incredible.
The kid just cannot catch a break.
2 earned runs, 6 hits, 5 strikeouts, only 1 walk. That's a great line.
There you see the numbers on Donnie Veal. He's got Escobar, then back to the top of the order with Gordon and Hosmer. So 1 right and 2 lefts. Also, we'd be remiss if we didn't say a terrific job on our national anthem by 3 men in kilts. I love those guys.
Oh, they are awesome.
I love them. That's ball 1. Escobar has fouled out to Rios, who made a good catch on him and hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice.
Well, I love what Brooks Boyer and the marketing department has done, throwing a band out there by gate 4 before the games. Heard those guys out there a couple times. So much fun. You can get here early, watch a little batting practice, listen to a little music, and then come on in and watch a great ball game. Beautiful night tonight. Great temperature. Just have not been able to get those 2 out hits, even though we've hit the ball a lot harder tonight, it seems like, even compared to yesterday.
That's in the center field. That's a can of corn. Well, if you're just joining us, they have 2 runs on 6 hits. We have no runs on 8 hits. They have stranded 3. We have stranded 9. 9. No field. 9. There's a hard-throwing right-hander. They're hard-throwing right-handers down there for the most part are little guys. Then they got about a 5'7" left-hander throws pretty hard as well.
Yeah, they do.
With a pretty good curveball. They've got a good bullpen. This is a good ball club. Make no mistake about it. For them to be under 500 this year, I would have bet against it.
Donnie doing a good job of getting ahead. Kansas City known for a little hard throwing. Remember little Flash Gordon? That man could rush it up there.
Gotta believe he could. And he had probably the best right-handed curveball in the American League.
12-6. Remind me of Wetlands. John Wetland. Big 12-6 curveball. But Flash even seemed like he had more velocity when it came out of his hand than Wetland.
Oh, he did. He had, at one time, as good a right-handed stuff as was in the American League. And the little guy, just a terrific guy. One and 2 the count. Who was Alex Gordon, was 0 for 5 against Field.
Downey trying to back up that slider. Again, unfortunately, that ball never really in the zone. Pretty easy one for Gordon to take. He's rushed a fastball up there and a slider for strikes. It'll be interesting to see what he comes with here.
And he's now 1 for 6. So 1 on, 1 out. And you can join the White Sox in honoring the Chicago area police and fire departments. Wednesday, August 7th is Police and Fire Night presented by UL. Also, the first 20,000 fans receive a 1983 White Sox tailgate flag. So whitesox.com or 866-SOX game.
Well, no one ever said this game was fair. You think about Gordon's bullets, 395, and then a little CNI ground ball somehow sneaks through.
This is a cruel game.
Got to be mentally strong. Got to be mentally strong.
You got to have a short memory. You got to have a short memory, and you got to be tough. You do mentally.
Josh jumping out there.
We talk about it a lot. To me, I played all the sports as you did. It's nothing that I have seen in my sporting career. Nothing harder to do in sports than win a Major League Baseball game, especially when you're going bad. Okay, boys, take it yourself right here. Attaboy, Lexi. Rack them up. And that'll retire the side, so another good job by Donnie Veal. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. We need 2 to tie. Pretty good. This by a 6'3", 190-pound right-hander out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Andre Rienzo threw a 7-inning no-hitter. He's got pretty good stuff. Watched him a few times this spring. Look, I've never seen that where a guy throws a no-hitter, starts walking off the field, nobody's there.
I would think it was going to be a 9-inning game as he was walking off, and then all of a sudden realized it was a 7-inning game. Game is over. They've won, and it's a no-hitter.
But I've seen him. I used to go down and watch. I love it in spring training. Love to go down and watch Coop give our pitchers sides, work with them down on the minor league fields. And he's not overpowering, but he's got good enough stuff to pitch in the big leagues. And he ought to be in the movies. He's a handsome guy out of Brazil. But it's always nice to see some of your minor leaguers making a march towards the big leagues. There's the new pitcher. We are glad to see Shields out of there.
Very glad.
James is a tough customer who has pitched in tough luck this year. But that stuff happens, I guess, you know.
Well, wouldn't mind giving him a no decision here and getting Quintana off the hook. Elliott Johnson, new second baseman. Tejada, we talked about, a little bit up in age, probably a little bit limited in range, and so some younger, fresher legs.
And here's Adam Dunn. This guy can rush it up there.
Yeah, first pitch 98, I guess so. Now James doesn't throw it soft, but you go from low 90s to upper 90s, and yeah, you're gonna have to dial it up a notch as a hitter.
Well, that's the thing about baseball. You get most hitters that much rather face Herrera, who can throw 100, 101. But he, for the most part, a one-pitch pitcher, than face James Shields, who's got that great changeup. Shields, one of the better pitchers in the American League, and coming in here on July 26th with a 4-7 1-loss record, but a 3.24 ERA. That will tell you the story. And a slicing foul. One and two the count.
Outfield playing very deep, and actually center fielder shading just on the left field side. Infield with a big shift over, though. Adams still beat that shift last time between the shortstop and second baseman.
He was looking for it, got it at 99 and just underneath it.
Well, a good pitch by Herrera, too.
See Perez setting up, trying to throw a high fastball. Adam did a great job keeping the hands up in the zone and get a piece of it.
And once again, if you're just tuning in, my partner Steve Stone is still a little bit under the weather, nursing that bad boiler with a bit of a fever.
A little bit of a zip rally here. Had so much excitement yesterday facing Justin Verlander. Good take by Adam there. A rare curveball. Even up the count 2-2. There was a guy you'd like to see at the plate late innings, down a little bit.
Well, this bullpen in Kansas City has got a. There, he pulled a string on him. And that's out number 1. But they have a 3.03 team ERA, which is second in the American League, only behind Texas. So the bullpen is not an issue. The starters really are not an issue. The issue has been one thing.
Yep.
The offense. That has been the issue. So here's Paulie. Paulie 1 for 3. I've never seen, I can't recall, rather, is a better way to state it. I can't recall another time when there has been more major league teams looking for right-handed hitting than this year. These pitchers are just, and you got the majority that are right-handed. These pitchers are just getting better. They're getting bigger, they're getting stronger. Almost everybody you face coming out of that bullpen is going to be throwing 95 plus, or he has a specialty pitch.
Or a specialty pitch. The one thing I think we've lost are those sidearmers.
Sidearmers really don't bother right-handed hitters that much. They used to, you know, the guys got used to seeing it. And besides that, sidearmer right-handers to right-handed hitters hang a lot of breaking balls.
Yes.
That ball hit high and deep. Stretch. Low back in front of the track is there. 2 down. And that'll bring up Gillespie. Connor's 1 for 3. Single in the second. 3-6 fielder's choice. And then in the 6th inning, he hit a bullet deep into center field that Kane just got a terrific jump on. I did not think that he was going to be able to get back there. It was hit so hard, but he really got back there and made it easy. Get us started with 2 out right here. We got a man who's swinging the bat and seeing the ball very well on deck, and Viciedo. First pitch strike. That one at 98.
Well, when you hit a corner like that at 98, you're not going to do much as a hitter. Connor, a great approach. You talked about how solid he is, how quick his hands are.
Pull the string on him. And we're seeing our club, particularly, seeing more and more and more changeups. More and more and more changeups.
When you talk about how impressive this bullpen is, an 89-mile-an-hour changeup. Those guys, I remember early 90s, mid 90s, that their fastballs weren't 89 miles an hour. That's a changeup for Herrera.
Well, what is a little unusual for the hitter when Herrera comes in, or Holland comes in, or Collins comes in, is to see a little guy throwing that hard.
Yeah. And there you see it. Bullpen ERA. Texas Rangers 2.95, but Kansas City not far behind at 3.03.
And if you didn't see that at bat last time up, and that play by Kane, this was one of the big plays of the game. This ball's golf. I didn't think he was going to get there.
No, got there easily. May have taken a little bit shallow angle because Connor hit it so hard, and that ball carried so far that Kane had to jump a little bit at the end there, but you're absolutely right. He got over in a hurry.
And then Kane made another play on Gordon Beckham with 2 on back in the 2nd inning on a deep fly ball out there.
Right in front of the 400 sign.
Right? Well, yeah, right in front of that Bacardi at the Park sign.
Yeah. And he's smooth out there. A little Devon White-ish-esque.
Not too many guys are smoother than him. Ken Griffey Jr. is the smoothest I've ever seen, but Devon was smooth.
Devon was fun to play with.
Stay in the air. Stay in the air. He looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes! Line shot by Gillespie.
And a little justice.
And it's a 2-1 ball game.
Very nice. About time for a guy that's hit the ball hard all night. Line drive, possible double, triple taken away. Connor pulls this one. Doesn't give anybody a chance to catch it. We are finally on the board. You talked about finally getting James Shields out of there. Very nice. But for our Ford home run replay, here it is. Inner half. Connor short stride, great hands, keeping them inside so the ball stays fair, and into the sports bar.
And here's Tank. Tank just takes that one to 96, looked at it all the way. Tank is 2 for 2. Milwaukee had 3 really good at-bats against James Shields. He had 4 really good at-bats yesterday against Verlander.
Yes,
and those are 2 of the best in the business.
His outs yesterday, productive outs, moving runners, hitting it hard. A walk and 2 singles today. Just missed that hanging curveball.
He ate him up right there with 1. Hosmer will make the play. And that'll retire the side. We get on the board. We go to the 9th, trailing by 1.
Game Live, presented by Orland Park Nissan. Chuck Garfine, Bill Melton, and the Big Hurt bring you their take on tonight's game and the latest trade rumors around the league. Don't miss White Sox post-game live tonight, right after the game on Comcast Sportsnet. Got a new left fielder, Casper Wells, coming in. And a new pitcher. A bunch of righties coming up. Matt Lidstrom coming in. See the record there, 2-3 with a 2.68 ERA. No home runs allowed. Like seeing that.
Billy Butler. Billy Butler 2 for 3 tonight. 2 line shot singles in the right field. A 2-1 ball game for our guys in the ninth. Beckham, Fegley, Diaza. Butler fouls that one over by our dugout.
First time Mr. Butler seeing a right-hander tonight. Matt doing a good job of rushing a couple up in there.
Billy has faced Matt 4 times. He's 0 for 4.
I like hearing that. Good take right there. Unfortunately, that all-important third pitch. Matt's fallen behind 2-1.
Billy just 27 years old.
Doesn't it seem like he's been around a lot longer than that?
He's something. No walks. Come on, Matt.
You mentioned some
probably going to hit it hard, but right at somebody.
Oh my gosh, would love that. You mentioned some of the better hitters around the league. Billy is one of those that you look at and you just say, here's a professional hitter. Here's a guy that has a right approach, a great swing.
There's a dreaded leadoff walk. So here's Perez. He led off the 7th with a double. Kane got him over the 3rd. Walked him Moustakas. Tejada got him in with a sacrifice fly. Now we got trouble on the base paths. Jared Dyson.
Jared leading the team in stolen bases with 13.
He was a 50th round draft choice.
Pretty good lead right there. And again, this is where we'd love to have Jesse Crain on the mound. 13 for 16, 81%. We talked before, for most base runners, you're shooting for that 75% or better. Over 80 is outstanding. And there he goes.
Watch out. Good play by Beckham. He had no chance. You better hang out around second or he's going to steal third.
Good jump, head down, not looking, which tells you this was a straight steal, and Gordon actually does a great job. Josh threw a little bit across the body. Gordon, great reach. Keeping that ball in the infield, keeping the man at second. For Jared Dyson, his 14th stolen base of the year.
Dyson last year was 30 for 35 in that category. So now Perez, who can work the ball to the right side. And the count 2-0. Those leadoff walks will absolutely, in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, jump up and bite you right in the behind.
Well, you're playing into the other team's hands because most every team has 1 or 2 guys that can just run, base stealing experts. And what you're doing is you're taking the momentum away from the White Sox. Finally got on the board, starting to feel good. You can see those pretty impressive numbers stealing third.
There's a strike and a count 2-1.
Well, and I can tell you, as a base stealer, growing up, coming through college, the minor leagues, stealing third always was a little bit easier because you always had 1 or 2 more steps off of second because no one was holding you right there. A little bit easier to read the pitcher.
And the count's 3-1.
And now up in the bullpen, David Percy, the lefty. Knowing that we've got Moustakas coming up in a couple batters.
3-1 pitch. as a base hit. So they'll hold Dyson at third as he had to hold. So now that leadoff walk standing on third with nobody out.
And I'll tell you what, sometimes it pays to be lucky rather than good. Good pitch on the inner half. Perez kind of forgetting about getting the guy over and just gets it past Connor. Step and a dive. Great effort. Dyson doing a good job of freezing and having frozen, making sure it gets through. Trots into third.
Here's Kane. He's 1 for 3. But he's made 2 good plays in center field to save some runs. Can't get that one. Dyson's stolen base percentage is awesome.
Isn't it, though?
He is, in his career, he stole 176, only been thrown out 35 times. Chops that one foul very quickly now. Matt is on top of Lorenzo 0-2.
Well, not that you're going to feel good about anything, but if you can get Lorenzo Cain here to strike out or pop up in the infield, you at least give yourself a chance. Next batter, roll a ground ball, double play, get out of the inning unscathed, but we still have some work here.
He almost walked right into that one.
You can see Lorenzo Cain a little below the AL average. Getting guys in from third with less than 2 outs.
That'll get the job done.
That will.
It's a 3-1 ball game, but they have 2 on and still nobody out. So the leadoff walk scores.
Well, Major League stat, over 50% of the time that leadoff walk scores. And for Matt, not that bad a pitch. Better job of hitting here for Lorenzo Cain. Just went down with it. Didn't try to hit it too hard. Didn't try to swing too hard. And unfortunately, again, finds a hole. And that run we just got in the bottom of the inning, we've just given it back.
So here's Moustakas. Fly ball to center. Fly ball. A pop up to right. And a walk. Outfield straight up, spread out. Good pitch. Breaking ball down and in. They're in the 11th inning in Cleveland, tied at 8 with the Rangers. Bottom of the 9th in the Bronx. Tampa Bay leading the Yankees 10-6. Tigers beat the Phillies 2-1 in Detroit. As the count now 0-2.
Good spot right there for Matt. First one in, second one out. Talked about Moustakas' struggles this year. Let's hope they continue for at least one more at bat, if not 2 more games.
There's a hanger over the head of Alex. Just a bullet on a hanging breaking ball. So 1 scores, 1 goes to third, and it's 4-1. All started with the leadoff walk.
Well, and ended with a hanging curveball up in the zone. 0-2. Alex does a great job trying to go back for it. Just misses it. Gets it in quickly, but for Matt Lidstrom, it's going to be a quick night.
Well, he's been doing such a good job for us, and a tough evening, tough outing for him. He departs, and we'll be back.
Not something we were looking forward to at the beginning of this inning, but David Percy coming in 7 games, an 0-1 record, 3.60 ERA. No home runs allowed, 5 innings pitched. David's still getting his feet wet in the major leagues. Hopefully we turn that walk to strikeout ratio around in the future. But coming in a tough spot, Hawk. Leadoff walk and then bing, bing, bing.
Yep. We've seen a lot of that this year. Unfortunately, that's been if there's been an Achilles heel in our bullpen, because we have a good bullpen. There's been the base on balls. Base on balls has really hurt us out of the pen. So here's Elliott Johnson making his first plate appearance. He went in to run for Tejada. He went, to defense last inning. This guy's not a bad player. He's 12 for 12 in stolen bases. And he is a switch hitter.
Good guy to have on the bench.
Oh, yeah. He's a very serviceable player. Guys like him stick around in the major leagues a long time. Oh, 0-2 the count.
Good job by Percy getting that ball up in there under his hands. First one might have been left out over the plate a little bit. This one just in off the plate. So trying to get something in the outfield. Couldn't catch up to that one. So 0-2. See what we can do with this one.
Good block by Fegley. Good shift. Good quick shift.
And that's the one thing I have noticed since Josh has come up is he has some quick feet. Not afraid to move over. You see, kids, how he kept those shoulders square to the pitcher's mouth, so as the ball would come out, it would come out forward, not first base or third base side. It's incredibly important as you slide left or right that you hit that outside shoulder toward the infield, so you keep them square to the infield and that ball will bounce right in front of you. Keep those runners where they are.
And Tyler Flowers last night, RBI double, a homer off Verlander. So our catching. And we got a couple of kids down in the minor leagues. White Sox in good shape catching wise.
See Moustakis on first there. Little leadoff. Adam infield is in. Looking for a play at the plate.
Another one in the dirt. So the count 2-2.
Another good block by Josh. David Percy born in St. Charles, Illinois, so local boy coming back home. There's Moustakis.
High pop up. Alexei making the call. And that is out number 1.
Big out. Both base runners about halfway, knowing that ball down the line, as high as it was, not really going to advance if he gets caught. But you want to be far enough off that if he does drop it for whatever reason, you can still score. 1 out, still first and third, but now we've got lefty on lefty.
David Lowe was 2 for 3, a homer leading off the 3rd inning. And if you're just joining us, Quintana, another solid outing. 7 innings, 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts.
And just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Here's our Miller moment of the game. It was early, and Mr. Lowe, first run of the game, nice swing, home run. Rookie is having a great rookie year.
That is foul back. A nice carom catch.
You see a nice stat on David Lowe. 4 hits in the last 6 at bats.
Well, he's a good athlete. He won 10 letters in his high school.
A young-looking 27-year-old. I know
Yeah,
he's a
he
little
is.
bit older than most, but he looks like he's about 19. Brent Lillibridge-ish.
Runners at the corners, 1 out and a 1-1 pitch. Oh, that's going to get the job done. He drops the ball. It's a 5-1.
That'll be a sack and an error. And here is our Avis Super Slow-Mo replay. Unfortunately, it is a non-catch. Casper, who made just an incredible play just a couple nights ago, taking away a home run, this time almost overruns a fly ball, trying to get behind it to see if he has a chance to throw a guy out at home. You need to know your base runners, because you're not throwing anybody out from that depth, and
You're not going to throw out Lorenzo Cain.
especially not Lorenzo Cain. But try to get back to be able to come in a little bit too much, and unfortunately found himself having to reach a little bit too far and just off the glove.
You know, Casper Wells is a very good outfielder, and just goes to show you, it's contagious. When you're going bad, you're going bad.
Big swing by Escobar there.
He is 0 for 3. So 5-10-0 for them, 1-9-1 for us. With 2 on and 1 out here in the top of the 9th.
Boy, and I tell you what, as a hitter, you start to score some runs, yeah, you can let it out a little bit. You can swing a little bit harder. Infield at double play depth.
Checks it up. Ball gets away. Be a wild pitch. Runners advance.
And for Percy, a good, hard-breaking curveball. And you see Josh in front of it, but as that bounced off the dirt, hit the heel of the glove. And if that had bounced a little bit earlier, would have bounced up into the chest protector. Unfortunately, off the glove, deflected to the backstop. Second, third, 1 out.
Once again, the infield comes in. And he gets him.
Thank you.
Escobar does not do that against us very often.
Nope.
So now 2 down. And here's Alex Gordon. Alex is 1 for 4.
And every bit as big an out. Guys on second and third for Percy need to get this man. Good job of getting ahead on that first pitch. Gordon a little bit tardy. You see, with runners in scoring position, Alex Gordon, pretty doggone good numbers. 356, 2 home runs, and 40 RBIs. That's nothing to
Alex Gordon's a good player.
shake a stick at. He is an athlete.
He is a good player. Gold Glove winner out there in left field. But he still has not. He had 294, 14 homers, 72 knocked in last year. He still, in my opinion, has not even come close to understanding how good he can be offensively.
Good block by Fagley there. Yeah, you look at this Kansas City outfield right now. Gordon with the best name, but he can cover some ground out there. We've seen Kane. And Lowe, looks like he can cover a little bit of ground. That could be a nice
That's good outfield defensively.
trio for the next couple of years.
Yeah, good outfield.
Again, as a pitching staff, you just have to have so much confidence. You make a mistake, you're going to run it down for you.
It's the greatest thing you can do. There's number one rule in baseball: catch the ball. And we've fallen very short of that. That era we had is our 71st of the season. And this is our 100th game. Last year we played 162 and we committed 70. Ducks on the pond, 2 out, and a payoff pitch. Got him. But a 3-spot goes up. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth and deep doo-doo.
And seems to be doing pretty well in the bullpen. A 3-1 record, a 1.95 ERA, 37 innings pitched, only 23 hits and 38 strikeouts.
Five runs, 10 hits, no errors for their guys. 1 run, 9 hits, 1 error for our guys. They have stranded 5. We have stranded 9. So we have had our chances, but Shields, when he had to, bowed his neck, made some good pitches, and got out of it. That's what good pitchers do.
Well, for Shields, when he did make a good pitch, his defense sure as heck saved him. A couple line drives hit well. Kane has had a great night in center field, running several balls down that's saved probably at least 2, if not 3 or 4 runs.
Well, you can't put a number on it, but at least a couple.
Yeah.
Ball hit hard. Johnson with a good play. A good throw. That's a good play right there. So once again, Beckham squares it up and comes up empty. He's hit the ball
3
hard
times.
all 3 times tonight. The other at that he walked.
Oh, a great night for Gordon coming back. You hate to walk away from a game like that, but I tell you what, first game back, he definitely looks good and has definitely hit the ball hard.
And as we talked about, he's going to wind up being the best player on this club. That's a mindset that athletes get into. And that's what it is, a mindset. And you don't do it saying, well, I'm going to be the best player on this team. It just happens because of that mindset that you have. Bagley, guys, 4 ground outs in this game. Very quickly, 2 gone.
Piazza coming up 1 for 4. My pick to click tonight. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Me, Sky, and Grayson Huff thought we'd go back in the outfield. And on the base hit, unfortunately, got picked off first.
This didn't take long. And this ball game is over. So, you're talking about 3 up, 3 down. That was 3 up, 3 down. But Mike, another nice job, buddy.
Great beat. Sorry we couldn't have the magic we had yesterday.
Yeah, much as I enjoyed it, I hope my partner can be back tomorrow and get over that bug, Steve Stone. But let's check out our GMC player of the game. It is 31-year-old right-hander James Shields picking up his 5th victory. Quintana pitched really well. He missed a game. He falls to 5-3. Shields now 5-7. Quintana 7 innings, 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. But Shields is our GMC player of the game. So for my partner tonight, Mike Huff, our director Jim Angio, our producer Mike Leary, our associate producer Dave Ross, our technical manager Mark Harper, the executive producer Jim Corno Jr., also for the mayor, Mean Joe Groove, and Mike Mayer, Frank D'Amato, Paul Carey, Doug Bullard, and sound. This is the Hawk Song, everybody. Coming up next, the Orland Park Nissan postgame show with Chuck, Frank, and Bill. You've been watching Chicago White Sox baseball on Comcast Sports.